And we are here on SportsTownChicago.com in a league of our own. It's Chicago Vipers football. We are here at Altgeld Park, if I can get that, say that right.
Altgeld Park.
Thank you. I couldn't say that fast enough. I'm Ryan Fahey. Alongside me, my good buddy Steve Suff. We are here at Altgeld Park here on the west side of Chicago. A clear night, it appears, but it's also a very chilly night. We are here.
If it was about 20 degrees cooler, or not cooler, if it was about 20 degrees warmer, this would be a great night for football, but it's still a great night for football.
And we're about to get play underway here momentarily, and the ref has blown his whistle. We are underway. The Vipers in their gray jerseys with white numbers going right to left, the Falcons in their red and white jerseys going left to right. First snap of the day taken by the Vipers, and running it up the far sideline, and up with this one is Eli Williams. Eli Williams on the very first play of the game is going to take it in for a Vipers touchdown.
Wow.
So the first play of the ball game, the Vipers on a run play on the far side, as we are literally standing on the sideline, on the far sideline, a 70-yard touchdown run by Eli Williams, the 5'9" running back out of Aurora, Illinois, and the Vipers on the first play of the game, once again, have a quick 6-0 lead.
That's just talk about a quick strike. I mean, that's if you want to start a football game anyway, if you're any team in football, that's the way you want to start.
So the Vipers, again, a 70-yard touchdown run to start the game by Eli Williams, and the extra point will be on the right goal post here, as we'll get that going momentarily. But again, yeah, if you're just tuning in, we got the game action right underway a little quicker than we expected. But on the first play, it's Eli Williams with a 70-yard touchdown run for the Vipers as they have the 6-0 lead. Zach Criswell, the kicker for the Vipers, on and out to kick the extra point. Joey Bruskis will be the holder for the Vipers, as the formation will get set in just a moment. And we'll break down the rules for you of the Gridiron Football League 9-on-9 football in just a moment when we have a break in the action.
And just so that the listeners have an idea of what we're looking at, we're seeing the Vipers do offense from west to east, and they just kicked from east to west.
And as they got the extra point, the extra point is good. 7-0. Let's break down some of the rules here of the 9-on-9 Gridiron Football League. This game did not start with kickoffs. The Gridiron Football League does not start with kickoffs. They start on the 30-yard line, whether it's on the east side or the west side. The Vipers obviously started on the right side if you're looking at a football field, just to paint the picture. These are 45-minute halves. Now, it is a running clock. We'll get the stoppage of a clock. Again, we don't have the privilege of having one. The scoreboards are not in effect right now. But when we hear the whistle, that'll be when the clock has stopped according to the eyes of the official, whether it's for timeouts, and let's get to those timeouts. Each team has 3 timeouts per half. Again, these are 45-minute halves with a 5-minute halftime. 10 yards are needed for first downs. Each team gets 4 downs to achieve first downs. Pretty simple. But again, each half will start at the 30-yard line for the Vipers as they started here in the first half. Falcons will start the second half with the ball at the 30-yard line. Just want to make that perfectly clear again as well. And this is a running clock through the first 42 minutes. After the 42nd minute, they will blow the whistle, and then it will be NFL clock rules where every out-of-bounds incompletion, it will stop the ref's clock.
There is a 2-minute warning. Any called timeouts, a ball out of bounds, run, fumble, incomplete pass, a touchdown, turnover by downs, or even fumble recovery by the defense, interception, or the offense gives up the ball. Those are all ways that the clock will stop during that 3-minute period in which the clock stops.
And again, we don't have the luxury of having the clock right in front of us, so we'll do the best I can to give you the idea of when the clock is. I'm going to say we're at about 4 minutes right now into this game. Again, it is a running clock. So here we go with the Falcons. Quarterback Damian Davis out there right now for the Falcons. He is in the shotgun formation. He has 2 to his right and 2 in the backfield, none to his left. And here goes Davis dropping back, getting pressure in the pocket, and that one is going to be caught up the middle, and that is going to be caught by number 26, Danny Padilla. And it got the Falcons enough for the first down at about their own 42-yard line. That'll move the chains.
Way to sound like an American there saying Padilla. It's Padilla.
Padilla.
There you go.
Well, whatever.
Gets up to the 41-yard line there.
So a new set of downs now for the Falcons at the 41.
Actually, no, they gave him spot up to the 43.
Ooh, that's a very generous spot,
wow.
then, I will say.
Speaking of generous spots, The refs tonight, we've got Pete Andrews and Jim Kay and the other two guys who I didn't get to talk to before the game as well.
And flag, they're off for the snap. They're on the second play for the Falcons
like a
on
false
offense.
start.
And we'll get the call in just a second. Damian Davis, again, the quarterback for the Falcons on the snap. And the refs convene. And we'll get the call from the head ref in just a second. And I believe it is going to be a false start, Steve, as you mentioned. It is moved back now to the 38-yard line, so that is a 5-yard false start penalty against the Falcons. It'll be first down and 15. And we'll say that the game has now gone about 5 minutes in. Again, it's a running clock up to 42 minutes.
According to my calculations, if you give me 2 more seconds here.
1.
We are at
2.
39.
So we're about 5.
We're a little over 5 minutes.
Just a little over 5 minutes again. It's not our clock is not the official clock. That is the clock we are trying to go off of as best we can to the officials. So again, 5-yard penalty there on the Falcons. That'll back them up 5 yards. It's first down and 15 on their own 38. So Damian Davis again, the quarterback for the Falcons in the shotgun formation. He has 2 to his right and 2 in the backfield, 1 to his right and 1 to his left, respectively. And again, our view here is we're literally on the sidelines calling this game. So if we don't get the numbers right away, we apologize. We are going to do our best we can to see the numbers.
We've got a team of guys in front of us.
So here's Davis in the shotgun formation. Has to step up in the pocket. He's going to run it and get about 3 or 4 yards on the play, depending on the spot. Regardless, he did almost get back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll probably be about second down and about 11, 12 yards to go.
Yes, as we say hello to our police officer friends. Hold on.
While Steve Suff will address that, we will get back to the action as it is about second down, and they're actually spotting that at around the 42-yard line, it looks like. Or, I'm sorry, the 41 for our vantage point. Again, it is a little difficult to see, so we're going to do the best we can. Bring you the best we can here, painting the picture. The Falcons are going left to right on this field here at All-Jet Field. So, again, Davis, the quarterback, in shotgun formation, has 2 to the right. He drops back. He's scrambling towards his left. He breaks a few tackles. He's going to run up the far sides. He gets the first down into Viper territory, and he looks like he's going to be brought down at about the Viper 40-yard line. So a new set of downs for the Chicago Falcons. Damian Davis, they're on the run to his left, and it puts the Falcons in Viper territory about 7 minutes into this ballgame.
Sorry about that little detour, Fahey.
Did the cops pull you over, Steve?
They did not. I did not get arrested. Did not get detained. Everything is fine.
Well, you didn't get a ticket?
Nope. Not even a warning. The guy
wow.
was just wanting to know what teams are playing tonight.
Oh, okay.
So I told him,
it's nice to see our Chicago police officers out in force here on a Friday night doing their respective job, putting their lives on the line for us.
The CPD, as they are known around here.
Damian Davis, as a flag is thrown off the snap, but they're going to continue the play. And on the run
Possibly
there
an illegal formation there, I think.
It is possible. That was Jose Barrientos on the run there on the far sideline for the Falcons. And as Steve mentioned, that there is a flag on the play. The flag was blown right at the line of scrimmage, and we'll see if this backs up the Falcons or not. As of right now, they have the ball spotted at about the Vipers' 35-yard line.
There's a possibility it could be a false start. It could be an illegal formation.
It looks like the officials are going to convene with the Vipers' defense, and they are going to call it. Actually, they look like they just picked up the flag. Because the Falcons are lining up to where the ball was spotted when Barrientos was pushed out of bounds. There is a flag still behind the Falcons' offense at about the 44-yard line. I don't know if the refs realize that there is a flag back there or not.
There's a flag. Where? On the field. Oh.
And we do have and the refs have convened. It is now an illegal formation on the Falcons, so that is going to back them up 5 yards. Disregard the run, and it will now be first down and 15. So that's 2 false start penalties here so far for the Falcons.
It's not a good thing when you have 2 early penalties, or just early penalties in general, when you're a football team. You can't operate an offense by keep going backwards instead of going forwards.
And again, we are literally here on the sidelines live here on SportsTimeChicago.com. This is a baseball field converted into a football field for tonight's action. Everything is all turf. It is a nice turf. We got to be on the field a little bit earlier tonight Really nice turf. Looks relatively new, kept in good condition as well.
Yeah, and it looks like a team called the Chicago Hope play here as well.
Davis now for the Falcons in the I formation. Davis runs back, gives it off to Barrantos in the backfield, and Barrantos is going to be met by the Vipers' defensive line. And leading that one for the Vipers on that defensive line was Shane Vogt, the free safety out of Chicago, Illinois, as the ball will be placed at around the Viper 40-yard line, as it is now second down and about 13 to go, we'll say.
Yeah, you had Shane Voigt and you had Miguel Tanus on the stop there for the Vipers.
So it'll be second down and 13 momentarily as the Vipers now get out of their huddle and will get ready for their second down play.
We have just passed the 10-minute mark unofficially by my calculations.
Again, that is according to our clock. We do not have the official referee clock. We hope we are as close as possible. And now here's Davis. Play fakes in the I formation. Has to scramble to his left. Scrambling backwards. Now back in his own territory. And he gets a nice block from a couple of his linemen. And he is going to be chased down on the play. Looks like they are going to credit that for a second as he was tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That's Dan Zawalski, the cornerback out of Elk Grove, Illinois, on the sack. It looks like they are going to credit as a sack, because it looks like from our vantage point that Davis was tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and as we know in football, that's a sack.
Absolutely, and you're looking at the guy that was really leading the charge on that pass rush was Miguel Tanus again. So it sounds like this guy is going to be a name that we're going to be saying a lot. So we'll expect to hear Miguel Tanus' name be called very frequently here tonight for the Vipers. Yep. On any of the pass rushing.
They marked the football at the Vipers 41, so that is about a loss of maybe 2 yards there, so they are going to credit that as a sack. Third down and about 14 here. Davis in the shotgun formation. And the throw up the middle, pass incomplete, and that will bring up fourth down. And my apologies, and they have changed quarterback.
I was just about to say.
Marlon Hamlin, I want to put out there. He was the one at quarterback. So that was an incomplete pass. His first pass of the game incomplete. And now the option here in the gridiron football is that on fourth down, you actually have the option to give the other team the football and start from where the ball has been placed off of the incompletion, off third down, or wherever the ball would land on third down, whether it's from a run out of bounds or a pass that doesn't get past the line of scrimmage to give you a first down. But I don't see a lot of teams that would consider giving up the football like that, unless in terms it's a blowout or any other kind of circumstance near that.
If you're not able to punt, you might as well just take the offensive play.
So here's Hamlin here on fourth down. He's going to do a little shuttle pass. Lost the ball there on the catch was Jose Barrantos. And
he caught it again.
Caught it again. Not once, but twice. But it was nowhere near enough as the Vipers will get the ball back at about their own 41-yard line.
Man, is it cold out here.
It is a chilly night here on the west side here in Chicago. Again, we are here literally on the sidelines calling this game. Different feel, because we've called high school football for our great station here before.
Yes, we have.
But we have done it from press boxes up above. It's a different feeling calling a football game literally on the sidelines. We're right behind the Chicago Vipers bench.
You're literally looking onto the field, seeing everything that happens right in front of you.
It's a different feel. It really is a different feel.
It's a different vantage point as well.
And we are on the opposite side of where the bleachers are.
Hamlin.
So you could probably hear most of the Eisenhower Expressway, by the way.
Yes. Hamlin is actually on the field right now on defense for the Falcons.
And here we go. So there you go. A little quarterback going to the...
Playing defensive end.
So Rivera there, the quarterback, hands this one off to number 11, Josh Hampton. And Josh Hampton threw a couple defenders. And on the second play for the Chicago Vipers on offense, a 59-yard touchdown run for the Vipers. Josh Hampton, the running back out of Wheeling, Illinois, and it is 13-0 Chicago Vipers.
What?
That's
How does this happen for – seriously, if you are a football team and you have a 100% efficiency rating in terms of your offense, this is insane.
2 offensive plays for the Vipers here in this first half. They have accounted for 2.
Wow.
They have accounted for 2 rushing touchdowns, one of 70 yards, one of 59.
They
already have 129 yards rushing, and we're through 12 minutes of the game, we'll say? or close to it, as Steve Suff will check his clock in just a second.
The unofficial Sportstown time here. We are about a little under 15 minutes.
And again, that is not the official clock of this game.
This is about as official as we're going to be getting.
That is according to our Sportstown clock we have here at the field. So do not necessarily buy our clock that it's right. We just hope it's close. Extra point there by Zach Criswell is up, and it is good. So that makes it 14-0 Vipers about 15 minutes into this ball game. And we're a third through the first half. 2 offensive plays for the Vipers, 2 rushing touchdowns combined for 129 rushing yards. And I want to point this out, too. Steve and I were talking about this before the game. If you recall from, it was last Friday night.
It was last Friday night.
We were on our sister station, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com,
it was
broadcasting Chicago State baseball, which they lost to Northern Colorado, by the way, 9-7.
Yes, the Chicago State Cougars and the Northern Colorado Bears.
Behind the field, behind where the outfield of the facility, there was a freight train in the back that was stuck there from the second inning through about the 8th.
Well,
tonight in the east side of the end zone, there's another freight train here, and it's not moving. And it never moved, even when I got here tonight.
But there was a train behind it that had moved.
But we still have it. Well, that kind of happened at Chicago State, though.
Exactly.
So it's literally deja vu. So here we go. The Falcons.
No, it's not deja vu. The train just followed us.
Well, it's kind of like Friday night. But nonetheless, the Falcons now will get back to their offense.
Don't make me start singing some Katy Perry.
Oh, brother. We don't need that to happen, please. We'll cut your mics off in a heartbeat. Anyway, the Falcons.
Like Hamlin is lining up out wide for the Falcons now. This guy does a little bit of everything for the Falcons.
Damian Davis back at quarterback for the Falcons. He's got 2 to his right and 2 in the backfield with him as he's in shotgun motion. Has a screen pass to Hamlin, and it's a flea flicker-like attempt, and it is going to be a jump ball at about the Viper 40. A couple defenders for the Vipers were there. Pass will fall incomplete. Second down coming up for the Falcons. And I know you're laughing at the play. I'm assuming you're laughing because the Vipers read that one like a book.
I'm laughing at that fact. I'm also laughing at the fact that we noticed Hamlin split out wide and that Davis was back under center, and they went to Hamlin to throw a long pass.
Again, the score 14-0 in favor of your Chicago Vipers. Again, we are the official home of the Chicago Vipers here on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Fay alongside me, Steve Soft.
What's up?
Damian Davis again in the backfield as the quarterback for the Falcons. He's got 2 in the backfield with him, and he's got 1 spread out to his left.
And that 1 wide would be Hamlin.
And again, this is 9-on-9 football. So Davis, and that's going to be batted at the defensive line, and deflecting it on that one was Jay Fortuna, the backup quarterback, playing a little defensive line there. And a quick note to point out, not only is he the backup cornerback and plays on the defense, he is the co-owner of the Chicago Vipers, and we got to talk to him before the game. Really a truly great guy.
Yes, a very nice guy and a true ball player. No need to explain why.
Little off-the-air antics that happen.
Yes, little funnies. But, no, a great guy, and it's nice to see the owner actually participating and helping.
And that's something you don't see out of a lot of teams, whether it's in football or any other sport. So off the batted pass at the line of scrimmage, it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Falcons on their own 30-yard line. As we have played about 17 minutes of this football game, it is a running clock here in the first 42 minutes, and they play NFL rules for the final 3 minutes of the half. Davis in the backfield in the shotgun formation, going to throw deep down the far sideline. Pass deflected and away. Coverage on that one was by Frederick Cornley on the coverage, and that brings up a 4th and 10 for the Falcons.
Yeah, he was going to number 80, and that would be Ryan Hardman, 6 foot, 180-pound wide receiver for the Chicago Falcons. Bounced right off of his hands. He actually had about a half a foot of separation there, so it would have been close.
And it looks like
that was on downs. Is what I'm gathering.
I'm looking again. These are different rules here in the Gridiron Football League. So it looks like, based on what we're seeing, that
it was a turnover on downs.
Well, as remember in the rules that we have, you can let the team have possession on your fourth down, you can give possession to the other team. That is according to the rules here that I am reading.
Just an example of the guy that
Again,
we were talking about.
And again, I'm
before.
reading the quote here off of the rules for the Gridiron Football League. On fourth down, teams may continue play to attain a first down or choose to give up the ball to the opposing team. That is what the Falcons have done. Because 4th and 10, not an easy thing to do regardless.
No.
So it looks like the Vipers have taken the ball back as Noel Rivera, the quarterback, in for the Vipers. And let's see what their third offensive player can do. We know what the first two did. Let's see if Lightning can strike 3 times.
And like I was about to say, the great guy that we were talking about, Jay Fortuna, co-owner and backup quarterback, ran onto the field to give the play.
Rivera now rolling to his left, flag in the backfield, and
escaped a few defenders.
He escaped a few defenders, and chasing him down there was by the man who has been doing it all for the Falcons here, or as much as he can, I should say. Marlon Hamlin was on the chase. They're bringing the pressure to the quarterback. There was a flag in the backfield, but it is going to be a illegal formation on the Falcons.
This has a little bit of a feel like a backyard football almost.
I think
especially with Hamlin.
I think the setting, too, also has something to do with, again, we want to thank the Chicago Park District for allowing this game to happen here on this field. A beautiful field, by the way.
And not only for allowing this game to happen, but for allowing me to go up on a ladder so that we could broadcast this game.
The things we do here at SportsTownChicago.com. Steve South, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear him on the Great Debates every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9:30, and you can also hear his hockey show, Hockey Talk, 2 to 4 p.m. on Tuesdays on SportsTownChicago.com.
You did not have to do that, but I appreciate the plug, my friend. Thank you very much.
Better give it to me later. That's all I got to say.
Don't you worry, my friend. Don't you worry.
So now off of the illegal formation called there on the defense by the Falcons, that moves them up 5 yards. The Vipers, first down and 5 now, at about the 45-yard line, on their own 45-yard line.
Rivera's in the backfield by himself right now.
All of them in the shotgun formation, 1 to his left and 2 to his right, and that's going to be an offsides call, neutral zone infraction on the Falcons, so another 5-yard penalty on the Falcons. Starting to lose track already. We're only through the first half.
What is that, 4 or 5 now?
I have counted that as the 4th one.
I believe, it's either 4 or 5, and I thought it was 4, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that is the 4th penalty here on the Falcons.
As we are 22 minutes.
Just about 22 minutes, and again, this
according
is not,
to my clock.
And this is, again, not the official clock. We were hoping we were as close to the officials as possible with this.
I'm hoping and praying that we are within
at least 5 minutes.
We're within 5 minutes.
I would hope so.
No,
okay. Regardless, let's get back to the play. Rivera in the backfield. He has the pressure. He is scrambling towards the far sideline. He gets enough for the first down, and a big block there by one of the Vipers' offensive linemen to give Rivera the room on the far sideline to give the Vipers into Falcons territory, and that'll be another Vipers first down.
That was a 20-yard scamper there by Rivera. Very nice, and especially like you said on the block by. We couldn't really see it from our vantage point, but that's okay. We know it was one of the offensive linemen for the Vipers that drew or just gave that block for Rivera in order for him to be able to run up the sideline like that.
So now the Vipers are now in Falcon territory once again on the Falcon 39-yard line. Rivera, again, the quarterback, in the shotgun formation all by himself in the backfield. He's got 2 to his left and 1 to his right. Again, this is 9-on-9 football. Rivera, shotgun, takes the snap, looks to his left, throwing for the end zone. Got it! Vipers score again. Eli Williams.
Second touchdown of the game for Eli Williams. It is now 20-0.
A 39-yard touchdown pass from Noel Rivera to Eli Williams.
So this wasn't their third offensive play, but it was like
their third
under
offensive
10.
drive.
Yeah, this is their third offensive drive. And I think they're not even 10 plays in.
And let's remember,
they've got 3
the Vipers
touchdowns.
lost last week 39-17. They got a butt whooping last week.
And right now
they're feeling that
delivering the butt whooping.
Yep. So now they will go down to the west side of the field to kick the extra point. As they are not allowed to kick it to the east side of the field because of the freight train situation we have behind the east side of the field.
That's
and the electrical main outlets that are over there as well, the power grids and all that. We don't want to mess with that right now.
That's
because
probably
for one,
pretty
that's
smart.
what's keeping us to be live here on the station. But that would also cut off the stadium lights, and we don't need that either.
No, because then our power gets cut off,
and then we can't
broadcast anymore, and that's just a big mess. And yeah, We're about 25 minutes into the game.
Criswell on the extra point, and Zach Criswell lines it up, and I believe it was good. I saw one official give the toss, so that is going to be an extra point that is successful, and it is now 21-0 in favor of your Chicago Vipers.
Absolutely amazing offense we're seeing by the Chicago Vipers right now. Like I said, less than 10 offensive plays in, and on their first 3 possessions of the game, all 3 have yielded touchdowns. This is just absolutely amazing what we're seeing out of this offense tonight.
Again, we're here at Altgeld Field here on the west side, hosted by the Chicago Park District.
Right off of the Eisenhower Expressway.
We are literally in walking distance of the Eisenhower Expressway. It's about maybe 50 feet behind us, we'll say. So you can hear a little traffic go by, and we are literally, again, here on the sidelines right behind the Vipers players where they are standing on the sidelines. So interesting aspect to call a game. As you saw the ESPN Tonight crew at Wrigley Field, they called the game from the right field bleachers.
That was very, very cool.
So it's some kind of different aspect. So this is the kind of different aspect you're getting right now. We're here on the sidelines broadcasting the game. I've never done a game like this. I don't know if you've ever done a game. So it's a new experience for both of us here.
Absolutely.
As the Falcons will get started on their own 30-yard line. Again, the rules of the Gridiron Football League, you always will start on your own 30-yard line and have 70 yards to go to try to score 6 points.
We're about 26 minutes, according to my clock, into this game.
But let's remember, too, the clock stops after the touchdowns.
Yes.
So. Oh, Steve.
I didn't know that.
So we're about 24 minutes in, we'll say.
Yes, we're about 24 minutes in.
So, again, we're about 24 minutes into the game. And on the snap there, and taking it quickly right away there for the Falcons, was number 6, Darrell Jacobs. Looked like it was kind of a wildcat form there. It was a very quick play that ran by the Falcons. The Vipers kind of easily stopped that one, though. But it was, however, a gain of about 5 yards for the Falcons. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 on their own 35. 2nd and 4 now on their own 36. That's where the ref is now standing.
Got it. It's nice to see the Falcons giving some effort here. We'll see if they can put some points on the board.
They still got, what, like 50 minutes of football? More than 50 minutes of total football to go here. So never know what can happen.
They've got over an hour left of total
Both teams are 0-1 coming into tonight's action. As Davis on the handoff there goes to Jose Barrientos, and he powers through up to midfield for a first down for the Falcons, and then to move the chain gang.
That was quite the power run there from Barrientos as he just manhandled everybody, went straight up the gut, gave a great effort for the first down up to the 48-yard line. So
now the ball, I guess, Steve
not quite midfield, but
close to it. He rolled after the fact to midfield. So the ball will be placed on the Falcon 48 as the Falcons have a new set of downs to work with. So far, this is their best offensive drive so far as they now work from their own 48. Davis, again, the quarterback, Damian Davis, leads it off now to Barrientos, the running back once again, goes into Viper territory and gets tackled down at about the 47-yard line for of the Vipers.
Looks like the offensive linemen are getting a decent push off the line as they are getting used to the cadence and the call by Davis. So we'll see if that continues for them and if that might even make them jump off sides or, false start.
2nd and about 5 yards to go here for the Falcons on the Viper 47. Davis will hand that one off now. This one, it goes to number 6, Darrell Jenkins. Enough for the first down. And inside, again, Viper territory, deeper into Viper territory. It looks like they're going to spot that one at about the Vipers' 33-yard line.
That was actually Barrientos on the run there. He got the sweep off the – he was on the right side of Davis, came around the left, went around and swept all the way to the north side of the field and was running up toward the east side. Toward the west, excuse me.
So, again, the ball spotted on the Viper 33. New set of downs now for the Falcons.
It was a nice little run there by Barrientos.
As we have heard our first blue line train of the evening that rattles in between the median at the Eisenhower. As this one now will be given off and going to the far side to number 25, Isaiah Warfield. And that will move the chains as he got it on the far sideline for a first down. And it looks like they're going to spot that at about the Vipers' we'll say, 18-yard line. So a nice
Yes.
run there. So some good offensive stability so far on this drive here for the Falcons.
Looks like they've got two very good, reliable running backs with some great vision in Barrientos and, correct me on the other guy, 25.
That'll be Isaiah Warfield.
Warfield, yes.
So Warfield in the backfield, and taking this one up, I believe, was Barrientos.
No, they handed that one off to the fullback, number 5.
That was Kyle Williams, and he is inside the – it looks like they're going to put him inside the Viper 10-yard line. It looks like they're going to have him about the 7. So he is at the Viper 7, second down and about 3 to go, it looks like. So they need to get to about the 4-yard line for the first down
A
here.
little quick story about that play that was just run. One of my favorite plays on Madden to run is the fake fullback halfback toss. That was the opposite. They went to the fullback with the fake halfback toss.
Davis, the quarterback, hands that one off to Warfield, going to the far side, and he is going to go in, and that will be a touchdown for the Chicago Falcons to score now 21-6.
Great offensive drive there by the Falcons. They finally got some pressure up the offensive line. The offensive line started to move. The backs were starting to see the field a little bit better, and they saw the holes, ran through them, and that's how Warfield got in.
So again, the refs now will officially stop their game clock here to attempt the extra point. In this game right now, we're about 27 minutes into it, we'll say. Again, that's a rough estimation according to our clock that we're running here while we're broadcasting. It is not the official time. We're trying to stay as close to the clock as the refs are. So we're hoping we're around the 27-minute mark as there is no functioning scoreboard, as the Falcons trying to go for the 2-point conversion, and the Vipers, the special teams coverage, read that one like a book. So the 2-point conversion there fails, and it's 21-6 now. Still the Vipers. The 2-point conversion for the Falcons, unsuccessful.
When you're down by 3 scores, you've got to go for 2. So I don't blame the Falcons for going for 2 there. Just the Vipers, defense, special teams, whatever you want to call it, they read it like a book, like you said. Good pressure up front for the Vipers that allowed them to penetrate and make that an unsuccessful 2-point conversion try.
So the Vipers will be now going towards the east side of the football field to try to score, as they're going to start on their own 30. The Vipers offense gets out there and is ready to go. And the Falcons will get their defensive men set in just a second. Again, this is 9-on-9. This is the Gridiron Football League. It's the GFL. This is the home of the Chicago Vipers here on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Fay alongside me, Steve Suff. It is a chilly night here on the west side of Chicago. As, again, Noel Ferreira, the quarterback for the Vipers.
And while we have a quick second here, let's just mention Brian, our camera guy, who is filming the game right now.
Noel Rivera trapped in the backfield, and he is going to go down for the sack. Reading that one extremely well, I will say, was number 14, Steve Davenport, the cornerback, came in from the secondary, got through the line, and gets credited for the first sack of the game for the Falcons.
Looks like Davenport's more playing like right tackle for the defense almost, or even a linebacker. He's
everywhere.
He's big, man. Like he's.
Well, here's the report on Davenport.
They've got Barrientos in the secondary right now,
he's
too.
The thing on Davenport, 6'1", 240 pounds. Barrientos 5'5", 200. So it's kind of like the short and stocky kind of thing.
Yep.
And then you have the tall and, meaty, we'll say.
Yeah, see, he's next to the nose tackle on, so he's probably playing like a 5 technique on that defense.
Hey, if you have guys like that can play for your team, that's pretty good.
Actually, he's just rushing off the end is what he's doing.
So, off the sack, it's second down, and it was a loss of 7. So it's second at 17, and the catch there by Kyle Ritter, the backup kicker, playing wide receiver, gets credit for that one, and that's a gain of about 7 yards, and that almost brings it back, and it will bring it back to the line of scrimmage. And it looks like the refs are giving another generous spot here as the ball will go to the Vipers 35, so it is about 3rd down and 5 now to go for the Vipers to get a first down.
What a great set of hands by that backup kicker for the Vipers.
3rd down and 5. Rivera escapes pressure, trying to run around. He does. He just falls down. A flag was on the play. He takes the slide, And it looks like that might go against the Vipers according to the initial signal. We'll get the call again in just a second. The refs will convene.
It does look like the ball is being moved 5 yards back.
So that is going to be an illegal formation against the Vipers. So that will back them up 5, and it'll be 3rd down and 10 from the original spot where they started this drive at their own 30-yard line. As we are, again, about 32 minutes into this first half, we'll say. Again, that's our rough estimation clock. The refs are running their own official clock. We're doing our best to keep up with the refs, and we want to keep you informed of how much time is on the clock, too.
Yes, and we will absolutely know for you once we have the
3-minute
warning. Yes.
So 3rd down and 10. Back at the original line of scrimmage, Rivera drops back in shotgun. He is going to run to his left towards the near sidelines. Is he going to have enough? It looks like he will not. It looks like he was taken out of bounds at his own 36-yard line, and he is immediately going right back out there. So it looks like the Vipers are going to go for it here on 4th down.
As we've said before, with these rules for the Gridiron Football League, where you can opt to give the defense the ball and make them the offense, or you can just go for it. You might as well just go for it because you never know what happens on any given play.
So, again, it is 4th down and about 6 yards. They gave him 4 yards on the run total to Noel Rivera out of Streamwood, Illinois. So 4th down and 6. Vipers going for it here on 4th down. They need to get to the 40-yard line to convert. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Rivera alone shotgun formation. Looks like there's going to be 6 members, and it looks like
they drew him offsides.
But the Falcons want to say it was caused by a false start, and the refs will converse and have a conference about it. Both teams are respectively saying to one another that the flag was on the Falcons or the Vipers. Falcons say they were drawn offsides by a false start by a lineman.
Once again, you've got Pete Andrews and Jim Kay. The Falcons are clapping.
And they're going to call that. Yet they're going to say it was a false start against the Vipers. So back them up 5. But the offense here, interesting left, still staying out here because it's now 4th down and about, we'll say, 10 yards again. Back to the original line of scrimmage. 4th down and about 11 yards to go, I will say. You saw the Falcons when they had that 4th and long at 4th and 10. They gave it to the opponent, being the Vipers. Vipers here staying out on offense with the 21-6 lead.
If they can get these 11 yards, that'd be huge. Otherwise, they're giving the Falcons a very short field to work with.
Rivera, again in shotgun formation. He's got 2 to the right, 1 to the left, and all alone in the backfield. Rivera drops back. He needs to get to the 40. Rivera going to his left, has to scramble through the pocket, and he's going to go up the middle, trying to get some yards, gets a few blocks, and he's breaking free up to midfield near the sidelines, and he is taken out of bounds at the Falcon 45. What a run there by Noel Rivera. Saves his team and converts on the 4th down. New set of downs for the Vipers on the Falcon 45.
That secondary for the Falcons was just absolutely fooled as everybody was running deep, long routes.
Couple nice blocks, though, in the middle of the field as he was running for that 1st down. Helped out tremendously, though.
Yes. And once he got past that first level of defense, it was wide open as the linebackers and the second and the third level of defense with the defensive backs were all playing as if Rivera was going to throw that ball.
Looks like we actually have a couple late Viper players now getting ready to suit up here.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Co-owner and backup quarterback Jay Fortuna was out there talking to a couple gentlemen that one of them has his Vipers gear, so maybe we'll see him later on tonight. Regardless, let's get back to the action on the field. And Rivera again in the shotgun formation on the Falcon 46. He's going deep down the far sidelines, pass over the head of Josh Hampton. Incomplete. He overthrew 2 defensive secondary players of the Falcons and his own wide receiver. That brings up 2nd down and 10.
Just a little too much mustard on that one from Rivera.
Not that much wind affecting here tonight. Now, a little breeze in the air, but it's not gustily, I should say.
We are in the Windy City, and if you look behind us as we are overlooked by a vat of trees, the trees aren't moving.
It's like the trees are kind of keeping the wind out almost, maybe, perhaps.
Exactly. Usually here in the Windy City, you
And
see
we're
those
closer,
things.
and we're closer to the lake too here on the west side of Chicago. So
That's
we're
exactly
not
it.
that far from the lake. So a very rare night to not have as much wind here in the city of Chicago. As it's second down and 10 now for the Vipers on the Falcon 46. Rivera, shotgun formation, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. He's all alone in the backfield. Rivera, he takes the high snap, pressured, has to scramble towards his right. He is looking downfield, can't really get the throw off, and he stays in bounds, tries to hurdle a defender. And he is going to be taken down at about the Falcon 40-yard line. That's a gain of 6 yards on the run there by Rivera. That will bring up 3rd down and 4 to go.
He saw the defender going for his knees, so he said, I'm just going to go over you. Didn't quite make it over, but he got close, so we'll give him an A for effort on that play.
The only thing you worry about, though, is that the defenseman that was also in front of him, as Rivera went down to the ground, he saw the impact of the other defenseman hitting Rivera in the upper body area. Rivera, good thing he's okay, though, because it's the secondary hits when they're on the ground, where it's helmet to helmet, helmet to chest.
You never know what
It gets
can
scary.
happen.
It does get scary, but everybody's okay and healthy, which is the best thing that you can say.
That's exactly right. And it looks like we've got a very funny formation.
Yep, one to the right, one to the left, 2 tailbacks in the backfield with Rivera, 1 to his left, 1 to his right, the other one being Eli Williams, the other one being Josh Hampton. The ref has blown the whistle.
Is that?
And it looks like they're checking with.
They're checking the helmet of one of the defensive
and
linemen for
the captain,
Falcons.
Jay Fortuna, is out with one of the officials discussing. As we are at about the 38-minute mark here of this half, we'll say. Again, that is according to our clock. We are not saying it is official. We are hoping we are as close to the referee's clock as much as possible.
It would be really nice to be as close to that number as possible, yes.
As again, there are no working scoreboards here at Altgeld Park.
Although we are plugged into the one.
Yes. So here's Rivera on the reverse to Hampton. Hampton gets through to the near sideline, trying to get a couple defenders to block ahead of him.
Wow.
And he will get the first down and a heck of a lot more. He's taken down at about the Falcons' 17-yard line. New set of downs for your Chicago Vipers.
Hampton just looks like he's faster than everybody on the field when you watch him run.
Again, Josh Hampton, he plays corner. Again, this is according to his bio here. Cornerback, running back, wide receiver. He's 6 feet, 175 pounds, and hails from Wheeling, Illinois. What a wheeler. You know what Wheeling is now home to? The second Superdog.
That is interesting, and they are also home to the only Twin Peaks I know of in the area for...
They also have Bob Chin's, the seafood place,
Ah.
if you've heard of that. It's one of the highest-rated seafood places in the country, actually.
I will have to
You're gonna
make my way
you're
over to
You're
Wheeling.
going to have to bring some money, though, I will say. Anyway, Rivera in shotgun, up the middle, steps up in the pocket, and that is caught for a Viper touchdown. Stan White, his first catch of the game, is another touchdown for the Vipers. And it's now 27-6.
27-6. This is getting a little out of hand if you're the Falcons, but if you're the Vipers, you are absolutely loving the way that your team is playing right now.
So the man out of Waukegan, Illinois, gets the 4th touchdown for the Vipers here in this first half. The extra point coming up here as they have to kick it only to the west side of the field. That's the only place that both teams have to kick. They are allowed to kick the extra point, I should say. They are not allowed to kick it going eastward on this field due to the train tracks and power grids that are right behind that field on the east side. So again, the score 27-6 in favor of the Vipers. Again, we're here live on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Fay, alongside me, Steve Suff. It's your Chicago Vipers here at Altgeld Park on the road, taking on the Chicago Falcons.
And once again, thank you to the Chicago Park District staff in that gym right behind the field for allowing us to borrow their ladder so that I could plug us in.
You really got to thank them.
We just need to thank them, period, because they're letting us use their facility as the kick is up and it is good off the back wall of the gym.
Wonder if those are football-proof glasses, because with the boot that these guys have, especially from Zach Criswell, the 5'10 kicker, that might shatter a window if he really gets a good boot under it. I mean, it'd be close.
I'm going to guess no.
It'd be close, though.
It would be close, but I'm going to guess those are not shatterproof windows.
That's okay. Well, you know what? We'd have to find out when the time comes, I guess. Regardless, it's 28-6 in favor of the Vipers, as we are again about 41 minutes, we'll say, into this game. So we imagine the 3-minute warning will be blown by the refs shortly.
Time.
I would expect that to happen within a matter of minutes. So now the Falcons will get their ball at their own 30-yard line, as per GFL rules, the Gridiron Football League, 9-on-9 football. That's why you kind of hear names more repetitively, offensively and defensively. Less big of rosters than as we saw with the Chicago Blitz or just NFL teams in general.
Yes.
Again, 9-on-9 football. It's not the 11-on-11 you're used to seeing with the NFL.
Or even with the Chicago Blitz. But the Blitz, they play on a shortened field.
They play on a 50-yard field total.
On a 50-yard field.
This is a 100-yard. It's a regular 100-yard field.
This is.
And we are standing at the 50-yard line here on the sidelines.
Probably about 25 yards off of off of the sideline.
Yeah, and I'm technically at the 49-yard line of the Falcons, and you're at about the 45 of the Falcons. So
I'm at about the 46 and a half.
46 and a half, okay. So needless to say, we are a couple yards from each other.
Just a little bit.
So the Falcons now will get play back underway. Damian Davis, the quarterback for the Falcons, under center. As we get play going for the Falcons drive once again. Davis in the backfield will pump fake, throw that one up, and it was dropped and incomplete there. We'll get the number in just a second on who was going for the catch.
I believe it was number 5.
That would be Kyle Williams, the 6-foot, 190-pound wide receiver. Pass incomplete, thank you, Steve Suff, as it is now 2nd and 10 for the Falcons, still on their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, another pass that one came out like a duck. And if you're not familiar with a duck, it was just a very wobbly pass, not a very tight spiral on it, and it was very hard to catch, a very uncatchable ball, but nonetheless right off of the hands of the receiver. So if you got your hands on it, you should be able to catch it. That's the golden rule in football or any sport.
Damian Davis under center, got 3 in the backfield for him this time. Looks like a run formation. He will toss that one off to number 25, as that is given for about, we'll say,
5 or 6 yard loss.
5 or 6 yard loss. And the refs have blown the whistle, so now it appears we are at the official 3-minute warning mark.
Now we are at
we are now officially at the 3-minute warning mark, ladies and gentlemen. So now these are played like NFL rules, as we are at the 42nd minute of this first half. So we're going to have halftime shortly here. Again, halftimes are 5 minutes long. Not that long of halftimes, because, again, it's a running clock, and you do get more rest time in between plays.
They just started the clock.
So now 3 minutes to go. So we should be as close to the refs as we are. Maybe for a second off. But we got about 3 minutes to go again, and we play it like NFL rules now. So if a ball is dropped incomplete, clock stop. Somebody goes out of bounds with the ball, clock stops. So imagine this now as NFL rules with the clock with 3 minutes to go. Snap back, Damian Davis in the backfield. He pump fakes. He is airing it out down the far sidelines. Pass incomplete. As Damian Davis was running up the field in frustration. As it is now 4th down and 10. Oh, he wanted that one bad too, Self.
Yeah, I know, and that was for our guy Kyle Williams, who we've called a few times already tonight. He was actually, again, had a little bit of separation, had a shot to make that catch, but it was just a shade overthrown, a little too much mustard on that one from Davis.
And it looks like the Falcons have given up possession and will give it back to the Vipers. So the Vipers will take the ball back.
Unofficially, there is 2 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock.
As again, Steve Suff trying to be on par with the ref's clock as well. So we believe we have about 2:35 to go, or it's at least close to it, we'll say.
As close to that as possible, give or take a few seconds, hopefully.
So the Vipers take possession back on their own 30-yard line.
I'm stealing your phrase from earlier, knock on fence.
Knock on fence. Well, we are right in front of a fence here, so we might as well. So now the ball will actually start, again, under these rules, they will start at their own 44, as that was where the, actually, Yes, they will be starting on their own 44 of the Vipers. So Rivera now, as the quarterback, in the shotgun with one in the backfield with him, and he has one to his left, two to his right. Rivera drops back. Has to avoid some pressure. He's airing it out downfield. Through double coverage, pass incomplete.
Kyle Williams almost intercepted that pass.
So we see a lot of two-way players here in the Gridiron Football League. Again, clock is stopped off of the incompletion. So I know, Steve, you have the clock. What do we have?
We're looking at about 2:11, 2:12, something like that,
okay.
Hopefully.
So we're at about 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in this first half. 28-6, the Vipers have the lead.
Just a very fast start for the Vipers so far in this game.
So it is now 2nd down and 10 now for the Vipers on their own 44 with about 2:12 to go here in this first half. And we will take the halftime break with the teams as well, and we'll be right back for the second half action at halftime as well. As Rivera drops, gives off to the far sideline. I did not get a number on that one. We'll get it in just a second. And a timeout is going to be called by the Vipers.
Our guy number 40.
That was Eli Williams.
Eli Williams.
So the clock stopped off of the Viper timeout. That's their first timeout of the game. They still have 2 remaining timeouts. Falcons still have all 3 of their timeouts still to go. So we're at about, according to the clock off of that timeout, Steve, what do you have?
We're about 2 minutes.
About 2 minutes to go here in this first half. Vipers have called a timeout. Again, their first timeout charge of this first half. They still have 2 more remaining. Offense still out there. We have about 3rd down and 7 to go as the Vipers are on their own 48-yard line, right almost near midfield, going eastward on the field.
Man, if it was just like 15, 20 degrees warmer.
The thing about tonight, we've called a lot of high school football. Not necessarily together, but we've done it for our respective station.
Yes, we have.
And high school football during the past 2013 year, you get used to the chilly nights then, but we're in the middle of May, and it feels like a high school football game because of the weather out here.
I was watching the start of the Cubs game earlier today. Don't ask me why I was watching the Cubs, because nobody should be watching the Cubs right now. But I was, and
they lost 5-4,
time,
I believe, right?
So Marja doesn't get the win again.
Oh,
Don't
man.
get me started.
Poor guy.
But
it's 16 in a row that he hasn't won, right?
Yeah,
oh,
15
man.
straight
Poor
decisions going back to August of last season.
Oh,
but
wow.
game time temperature at 1:20.
That was at Wrigley, right?
At Wrigley was 38 degrees.
And it's May.
And it's the middle of May.
It's May 16th, and we're in the 30s. Rivera drops in motion, has the screen pass thrown.
Overthrew Eli Williams.
Yep,
there.
he overthrew Eli Williams, maybe, because the wind has picked up a little bit here. Not much, but a little bit. Wind might have sailed, but it looks like Rivera lost grip on that one, as it is going to be now 4th down and 6 to go as the Vipers are still on the 48. The offense is staying out there to go for it here on 4th down.
Bold move. I mean, look, you're up 22 points in this game. You might as well just go for it. There's no sense in not going for it.
What is our clock situation here, Steve?
I believe we're sitting about 155,
155, 154. Okay, so we know we're close to under 2 minutes again, depending on what the ref clock has. But according to Steve Self, we are just under 2 minutes to go here in this first half with a 28-6 Vipers lead.
Yeah, and I'm doing my best to make sure that we're as close to what they are actual as possible.
4th down and 6, Vipers on their own 48. Rivera in the shotgun formation. He drops back. He gets the snap. He's looking at his left, looks to his right. And a juggling catch is made there by Stan White. Stan White down the far sideline and gets inside Falcon territory. And they are going to mark him at about the Falcon 18-yard line. Timeout, Vipers, their second of the half. What resilience by the Vipers as we near the end of this first half.
So Kyle Williams looked like he was about to make a very good play on that ball right as 82 was going to catch it. Tips it in the air. 82 grabs it and
Stan
runs.
White.
Stan White.
The second catch of the game, still a big one. His first catch of the game was a Viper touchdown. They gave the Vipers the 4th touchdown of the game to make it 27-6 before the extra point.
It looks like they're marking it down about the 15-yard line.
That's where the side ref is standing right now. So at about the Falcon 15. And according to the clock, Steve, what do we have now?
A little around 145.
145 to go. roughly, according to our guy Steve Suff, who is trying to keep up with the refs' clock as well. Again, we are not calling it an official clock. Again, the scoreboards are not working here tonight. So we are going off of stopwatches and phone clocks, which is what Steve Suff is using here tonight to keep track of our game clock.
It would be really cool to be like right in sync with them, but I know that's not going to happen.
We are doing our best to keep up with the referees, though. We are very close to them. As per our Steve Suff, we have a minute 46 to go.
Rivera's in the backfield alone again.
But he has Williams motioning around. And Rivera's going to keep himself trying to run up the middle. He is met there by Falcon lineman, specifically number 44, Kier Sullivan. So second down, a loss of yardage there for the Vipers. And they did not call a timeout. Vipers in the no huddle here. So the Steve, what do we have as the clock now?
You're looking at about 1:35
in counting.
1:35
in counting now. Same play run here. Rivera flying to his right and wide open and taking that one up and in for a. Is he going to be getting credit for the touchdown? No, they're going to spot him at the one. They are going to spot him at the one. That's TJ Storino. Vipers in no huddle again. We're about a minute to go. Rivera runs up to the sideline, and he is
offsides, neutral zone infraction.
So Rivera,
yeah, you've got linemen that are very upset with how he just brushed up and came up to their quarterback. That was not
absolutely convenient. A little arguing there between players, but it breaks off right away. So just a little jibber jabber at the 1 yard line, as it looked like it was a touchdown from our vantage point again. But they are going to spot him at the one. We have about.
That was Chris Lomack, the linebacker, coming over the line of scrimmage before the snap was even, before the players were even set to hit Rivera like that. And that's why you saw the lineman getting upset and a little bit of pushing and shoving going on.
So again, the ball still spotted at the 1 yard line. According to our clock now,
we are sitting at. I don't know if they. I'm assuming they stopped the play.
I believe they did. So I believe we're at about 50 seconds.
Probably about 50 seconds.
We're according to our guy Steve Suff, we're at around 50 seconds here. Rivera on the one. Will he make it a fifth touchdown? Hands it off to Jamie Wyatt, and he did not get it.
The Falcons were clapping after that play.
It looks like he lost a yard. Second down and goal now on the Falcon 2. Clock's still running, it looks like, and it looks like the final timeout, and it will be the final timeout called by the Vipers. So we are at about
27 seconds. About
I would say we're closer to 35, based off of the refs blowing the whistle off of the skirmish in between plays there just a few moments ago. So I would say we're closer to around 30 seconds to 35.
That works for me.
As again, we are trying to keep up with the refs here as much as possible. A little hard to hear as we have our respective headsets on. And then we do have the Eisenhower Expressway right behind us. So
and you got a bus on the CTA going eastbound on.
So yeah, there's a lot of things that are a lot of noise creation, if you will.
Yes,
without
a little bit.
If you don't have a crowd, but there's not a big crowd here tonight, but there's enough other surroundings to get the ears listening. We'll say. Looks like the traffic has died down on the Eisenhower, by the way, if you're thinking about traveling on there. Going both ways, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say, wide open eastbound, wide open westbound.
So now on the Falcon 2, it's Rivera. Second down to go. Second down and goal on the Falcon 2. Rivera fakes the handoff, runs the near sideline. He shuttle passes it, but it's incomplete.
Tried a little Tim Tebow magic there, and it didn't work out for him quite as well.
So the pass incomplete. Third down
and 2.
So it is third and goal to go on the Falcon 2. The Falcons defense stepping up mightily here in their own end zone. So now the Vipers on third down trying to draw up maybe another creative play to try to get another 6 points before this first half will end.
And the most creative play of this first half so far was that flea flicker attempt by the Falcons that didn't really work out so well.
So Rivera, 2 backs with him in the backfield in shotgun formation. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Rivera drops back. Looks like a regular pass play. He runs to his left. He has to do a jump ball And it looks like there was miscommunication as Rivera was looking for a receiver on the near sideline, had nobody near it, and it's now 4th down and 2 to go with 2 yards to go. And looks like that is...
Looks like that's the half.
It looks like that is going to be halftime. And I believe...
That's going to do it for the first half.
We are looking at the referee. He is looking at his watch right now. And there might be some time left for the Falcons, but it doesn't look like we're going to have that, as the players now will go to their coolers. And it looks like, and it looks like we are officially going to have halftime.
And it would have been 4th down for the Vipers.
Yep, so that is going to end the first half here at Art Geld Park. Here for your Chicago Vipers. It's the first half. We're done with it now, as the Vipers have a 28-6 lead going into the second half. We're going to take a short break. Come right back here. This is your home for the Chicago Vipers here on SportsTownChicago.com.